Yo, what's up, guys? It's Chase here, and it is that time again. We have a patch coming. It's actually coming out later today at the time that you're watching this video. But yeah, I looked through these already. I unfortunately couldn't do a live reaction this time because I was at school when this came out. But we are here. We are reviewing it still. And yeah, I got some things to say. There's not a lot to talk about because it's just balance change this time. And, you know, the usual. There's some good things, but there's some whack things, and we're going to go over all of them. So yeah, all this first stuff here is stuff we kind of expected, like we're getting some data for Splatoon, which is at the end of the month. Mahi is getting reworked, which we've already seen. That's been announced already. And then, yeah, so here we have some main weapon changes. So first, Splattershot Jr., Custom Jr. Movement speed while firing is about 6% faster. You know, I don't think that's necessarily going to make Jr. like amazing now, but hey, it could help out, you know? Okay, I do like these. So both L3 and H3 are getting like fall off buffs. So basically you can like kill easier at a longer distance. With H3 especially, you could one shot now from farther away, which is going to be interesting. I think this could be good. Again, you know, these weapons are kind of weak right now, so I don't know if that's enough to like make them good, but hey, I mean, we'll see, right? I've said this before, but I think H3 is a weapon that deserves to be good because the amount of skill you need to like do well on this weapon is very high. So, you know, with a weapon like that, I think it deserves to like be good if you can perform well with it, if you get what I'm saying. As right now, that's not the case. It is still, there's no point in playing this weapon because its kits are weak and, you know, there's no reason to really use it, even if you're good at it. But hey, maybe this could help with that. We'll see. S-Blast. So let's see. So I got some decreased ink consumption. I was gonna say increased, but I guess technically decreased. So that's good. So it's more efficient now. And then I think this might be a bit bigger of a deal. It has shot scatter reduction from the intensify action gear ability, easier to activate within a small. Okay, so less intensify action is more effective now. So you don't have to run as much to get, you know, better jump RNG. Same thing. You know, I mean, S-Blast is like held back by its kit, I think, more than anything. Like Sprinkler Reslider is really bad. But hey, I mean, I'm sure people who use it would appreciate the main weapon buff, but you know, until this thing gets a good kit, I don't see it really being more used, but could be wrong. Okay, now these next ones I am not a fan of, but that's just because I have a skill issue at dealing with rollers. Both Carbon Roller and Splat Roller have widened the angle at which horizontal swings deal maximum damage. So I'm guessing it means that like the range is technically extended on, you know, the lethal radius from a horizontal, which they don't say how, like, they don't give us exact details. They just say they widen the angle, so we'll have to test it. But this could be big for rollers. I think it's a little more impactful on Splat Roller, because you know that thing's lethal radius is already like not that bad. I mean, Carbon's was terrible, so I don't know how much it's gonna help Carbon, but for Splat Roller, this is big. Also, we'll see as we go on, but I think Splat Roller is like the winner of this patch because like multiple things about it got buffed, not just this. Multiple things about its kit got buffed, so we'll take a look at that in a second. Paintbrush buff. Ugh. They're buffing all the weapons that I hate facing. So let's see, it has less whiting frames when you recover ink. It's 1/6 of a second faster. Reduction in damage based on how far the shot travel. Okay, so basically you could, same kind of buffs that some of the other weapons are getting, like you could deal more damage at a farther radius. So this could be big for the weapon. We'll see. But I really hope this doesn't make Paintbrush good. Paintbrush should not be good. I don't like that weapon. I think it's unhealthy. No, it's just me being bad at the game. But yeah, we'll see. You know, I'm happy for you Paintbrush players. All right, next we got some Splatling buffs. They kind of buffed like the two Splatlings that are not very used, which is the Mini and the Hydra. Mini ink consumption buff, I mean, that'll help with paint output, but I don't, just with the meta right now, I don't know if this is gonna be really picked up more. Maybe like in zones, I don't know. One thing to note though, and I saw some people talking about this earlier, is that they are buffing like multiple bubbler weapons. Like what we got: Junior buff, H3 buff, Roller buff, and Zinc mini buff. So like, you know, just interesting to think about. Like, is there a reason they're buffing all these bubbler weapons? Do they want bubbler to be like more meta? Maybe they think bubbler like helps deal with Trizooka or something. I don't know. And then, okay, so yeah, so this is whatever. The mini buff is whatever. But the Hydra buffs, I think, have potential to be really good. So its movement speed while charging is about 10% faster. So like 10%, that's pretty significant. And then it also got increased firing duration by 8%. So it's gonna shoot for longer now. So yeah, I don't know what this means. I think maybe it could afford to run a little less run speed now, which could be interesting. I think. And what, they buffed Tenacity in like the last patch, right? Or the patch before? One of the recent patches. And I think Tenacity is like, Hydra is one of the few weapons that Tenacity is actually viable on. So we will see if that really picks up. I don't know. Hydra's a weird weapon, but I wouldn't be opposed to it being good because I do think Hydra's a cool weapon. And then, okay, obviously, you know, all us dually lovers here on this channel, this is the one we care about. Galuga dualies get a buff after forever. It's been years. The reduction in damage based... Okay, well, I don't need to read that because that's the same exact buff that these got. So think of it the same way. So Galugas, when they're in turret mode, their fall off is improved. So they can two-shot people from farther away now. At the very tip of its range, its damage won't fall off as much anymore. So... it's hard to tell how good this is because they don't give exact like details, which makes sense because it'd be kind of hard to give specific details on this. So this is something we're just gonna have to feel out later today. I can't tell you how I feel about it right now because I just don't know. But this has potential to be really good. It also has potential to just be nothing. So we'll have to test it out. But hey, the fact that they're even trying with Galugas is good. But as you're probably wondering right now, yep, there is no Dapples buff still. Huge disappointment. There's also no Dreadringer buff. It's just like these are good buffs. These are all good buffs. They buffed quite a few things, but like there's still definitely some weapons they could have buffed that they didn't, like Dabbles. But yeah, anyways, so that's it for the main weapon buffs. Now we move into the one sub-weapon change, which is Curling Bomb. Reduce the amount of ink consumed when using a standard ink tank from 70% to 65%. Hey, finally, right? Took long enough, but they're doing something. I honestly think it could be 60%, maybe even 55%, but hey, this is a start, right? They're finally acknowledging that Curling Bomb was too expensive. And again, how I was saying earlier, like Roller's the winner of this patch, like Roller has Curling Bomb. Like this wins with that. So, and of course, other common Curling Bomb weapons like what, Heavy Edit, Sploosh, I guess. Like, you know, we're all benefiting from that too, so. Congratulations, Curling Bomb users. And there's not a lot of special weapon changes either, but there are a few. This is the worst one right here. Why, Nintendo? Why are you buffing Killer Whale? This special is not healthy for the game, okay? I think this special... I just don't like the design of the special in general. I think it's silly. But, like, it was okay before, because it was weak. You still die to it occasionally, especially if you're a dually user like me. And this buff is just gonna make that worse, by the way. If you're watching this and you're a dually user, like, have fun with this. Because you're just gonna die more to it now. Because it's gonna kill you faster while you're stuck in your end lag. So, yay! 52 is gonna be better now, yay! Yeah, again, I don't know why they did this. Maybe they want Whale to be like the Trizooka counter? I don't know. I really don't know. This is another one I was like, why? But like, this one's not as bad. Kraken Royale, movement speed while not charged is now roughly 11% faster. And I saw someone, I don't remember who it was, but someone on Twitter did the math, and then basically they calculated that now when you're just, you know, doing the normal movement in Kraken, so not charging, just moving around normally, it's just as fast as base swim speed with no swim speed up. Like when your character is just swimming normally, this is just as fast as that now. So it is going to keep up with you if you're swimming away from it now. So keep that in mind, okay? But yeah, you have more options now with Kraken. So, you know, it's a fine change, I guess. It's not gonna like break Kraken or anything. I think it's a better change than this. you know? But, all right, so here's the one that we're all looking for, what the literal video title is about. Was this enough? Was this Trizooka nerf enough? They reduced the damage dealt by explosions from 60 to 53. And that's it. No startup nerf, nothing like that. No shot velocity nerf, just a damage nerf. So if you guys remember, it used to be 40, and then they buffed it to 60. So they kind of went back on that a little bit, not completely. They went a little bit like halfway, down to 53. So what does this mean? Well, it can still two-shot. Like, you know, that was something Trizooka couldn't do before when it was 40. It was if you hit indirects, it was a 3-shot before, but now it was a 2-shot, and it is still a 2-shot even with this lower damage. But this does mean that it combos with a couple less things now. And also, when you swim away from it and you heal, now it's the next shots are less likely to kill you because you healed a bit more. So it's not going to do as much damage. So you can maybe survive a little easier. But like, here, and also here, let's just go down here. They actually addressed what they're trying to do for Trizooka. So they say, for the Trizooka, we made it more difficult to spot opponents by accident, while preserving the ability for players to spot opponents by aiming well and firing 2 consecutive shots. So yeah, so I think Nintendo realized that the damage buff that it got before at 60, it was very easy to just kill people randomly with it. Like, you didn't even know they were there. And this nerf back to 53 damage is gonna make that, you know, a little harder. But they still want you to be able to 2-shot if like you are actually aiming it at someone. So yeah, I don't know. My honest opinions on this, I don't see it dropping out of the meta. I don't think this is enough. I think we're still gonna see a lot of Trizookas, especially because, spoilers, they didn't nerf V-Shot in the special output. It's still 190p. So we're still gonna see a ton of those probably. And it did nerf Squeezer, but we'll get to that. But yeah. Okay, this is good right here. Kind of out of nowhere, because Tenta missiles weren't even like that good right now. But I will take a missile nerf any day of the week, because God, this special's stupid. So they decreased the radius of the explosion area that deals 30 damage by approximately 15%. So it just easier to avoid taking damage from Tenta missiles now. So yeah, good change. I mean, again, I'm a little curious as to why they decided to do this now, but like, I'm not complaining. It's just interesting. But yeah, you know, missiles are dumb. So I will take anything to make them a little less impactful. I do think that's good because missiles did do too much damage. And last but not least, we got the points for special. All right, so hang on. We're gonna go through these, then I'm gonna explain, because I know you're looking at this and you're like, what are some of these whack decisions they did here? But here, so let's go through them first, okay? Aerospray RG, 200, 190. Rapid Blaster, 200, 190. Big Swig, 200, 190. Squeezer, 200 to 210. Tri-Slosher Nouveau, 190 to 200. Custom Dually Squelchers, 200 to 210. Sultana Stamper, 200 to 210. Okay, so these first three, whatever. Fine, sure. Squeezer, 200 to 210, good. Honestly, I think Squeezer could have used the main weapon nerf too, but sure, it's fine. Okay, so these next three though. Tri-Slosher Nouveau, Custom Dually Squelchers, and Sultana Stamper. I know, I was like this too. I was like, what the F, Nintendo? Why? Why are you doing this? It's not like these were meta or anything. Why are you doing this? Well, here's why. So I didn't really know this because I don't follow the Japanese turf war scene, but apparently in like Koshin and stuff like that, these weapons are actually common in turf war, the competitive turf war scene in Japan. And Nintendo looks at that. The turf war scene influences these patches. So that is where these came from, because these three weapons are very popular in turf war in Japan. Now you could argue why. Why are they looking at turf war? They should just be looking at the ranked modes. And, you know, I can't tell you. I can't tell you how they decide to change their game. Do I think it's silly? Kind of. Yes, because now these are going to suffer even more in ranked modes. I mean, I think Sultana Stamper is still going to be fine, because Sultana Stamper was being picked back up again, even in ranked modes all over the world. So I I think this is fine. It doesn't really even need the zip caster that much. It's the main weapon that's still brutal. So, but yeah, rip Dually Squelchers. This thing needed a buff. It needed like a few main weapon buffs. Instead, it got none, and it's a slower special now. I'm sorry, Dually Squelcher mains. This is not your game. You got to go back to Splatoon 2. And okay, Trizooka Nouveau. I mean, I hate Trizooka. I hate facing it. So this is a win in my book. But you know, I do feel bad for you people who use that. And yeah, that's kind of it, guys. Like, not really. I looked through the bug fixes. Nothing really notable there. And then they do explain here. They wanted to just kill a whale because people are apparently used to dodging it now. Sure, I guess. Yeah, it's easy to dodge it if you're a shooter, huh? Kraken, they want to give you additional options outside of a charge attack. That's fair. Trizooka, we already went over that. And for Tentamissiles, we made adjustments to reduce instances where players still took damage, even if they took measures to evade enemy missiles. Yep, that is good. That's good, because that's true. You would move out of the way, and you would still take a ton of damage from the Tentamissiles. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Again, not much to talk about this patch. It's just balance changes and then only a couple really notable things. Overall, thoughts on it? It's okay. It is one of the weaker patches, I think, but it's not bad. They did address well, okay, the one thing they didn't address that should have been addressed was V-Shot points for special, but I think that's another kind of Japan influence thing, because I think Squeezer is a lot more used than V-Shot in Japan. So they care more about this. But I still think V-Shot should be 200 and not 190. But hey, I mean, you know, if you use V-Shot, you lucked out. I guess that's the best way to put it. These main weapon changes are good, even though I hate some of these weapons. Like, I am happy for people who use them. And they did buff a lot, and these seem like pretty meaningful buffs. Again, the one I care about are Glugadoolies. We will see how this plays out, if this is a big deal or not. We will see, I don't know. And yeah, I don't know. I don't think the meta is going to change super hard with this. The Trizooka nerf doesn't. On paper, it doesn't seem super impactful. Could be wrong. We'll see. And then, yeah, I look forward to the Mahi Mahi resort changes because it's all modes. It's confirmed now. It's not just Turf War, which people were worried about. But yeah, guys, that's going to be it. Let me know what you think of this patch down below. Do you think the meta will change, or do you agree with me that it's going to kind of stay the same? Are you angry at these points for special nerfs? Because I know a lot of people are. I'm sure most of you are. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Appreciate all of you. Subscribe if you haven't already for more content like this. And I will talk to all of you later. Bye.